Everybody, I'm Arya the King.
And I'm G the Beard.
Are you just G the Beard now? You're not the bearded
Listen,
one no
every
more?
show is going to be
What's
different,
going
man.
on, bro?
Every
Like,
show is going to be different.
this thing got multiple personality disorder. All right, look, this is Geek Salad Live. I'm Arya the King. That's G the Beard now. Whatever. We have a dope guest. We joined by Kiori, aka Witchblade. We're gonna be talking about X-Men '97 and also the ending of this Kendrick Lamar Drake beef. I'm gonna give you our
Yes.
takes on that, plus a little bit more. Y'all stay tuned.
So let's get into it. So, first of all, everybody in this panel here has seen the ending of X-Men '97 season one. Real quick, everybody's thoughts. How was the season as a whole? And I'll go with our guest first.
Um,
Be
very
honest.
emotional. It was a very
she told,
emotional
she told
ride.
Okay.
me,
It was a very emotional ride.
Mhm.
Because but I already knew that it was going to be good because Marvel, when it comes to their animated, has improved significantly
Yes.
with
Yes.
their animated things. So I already knew that this was going to be a wild ride anyway. But the first few episodes, I was like, okay, I feel like I know where they're going. And then, of course, I
Mhm.
was wrong. So I don't know why I even thought that. And then episode 5 did it for me. I was like, yep,
yo.
this is it. This is it right here.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
then getting to these last, as soon as I saw that the last 3 episodes were going to be a 3-parter, I said, oh, yeah, this is about to be some shit ASAP. I loved it, though. I really did.
Agreed.
Arya.
Agreed. Man, listen. It's rare that they knock something out the park. It's rare that like the hype of something lives up to it. And yo, this show was like it was hyped up and then it also fulfilled all of like what you thought it could be. Um I think it was even better than Invincible. And you know how I feel about Invincible.
Ooh.
Invincible was dope. But X-Men
Okay.
97, I can't think of
Okay.
an animated series that I've enjoyed more than this. It's like they took something from my childhood,
Mhm.
they updated it, tweaked it, gave it a bigger budget, definitely a bigger
For sure.
budget, and
Hmm.
it would just work, bro. It's like now that it's over, I don't know what I'm gonna do on
I know,
Wednesday.
man.
It's
Ooh,
because you know it's
I
gonna be
know.
like 2 years before
It's
we get
rough.
a second season. You know how animation go.
I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Gonna,
always
it's going to
prediction.
be at a minimum 2 years
Yeah,
because
that's
just well to kind of get my thoughts. I agree with everybody here. I mean, the people behind this show, as black folks say, put their foot all up in the gumbo. You know what I'm saying? I mean, even though some of the other dialogue was corny at times, it fits for what this show is. I mean, the drama, the action, the storylines, the gems, the some of the bars, and I'm gonna get to that later. Like some of the best lines in the entire season. The final 3 episodes was just everything coming together, and how again like X-Men is the what's what big word I'm looking for, REA, where it mirrors what kind of goes on today, but
Hmm.
it's doing it in their own superhero type of way.
Hmm.
And it's not too ham-fisted where you're like, oh my God, this is too woke for us. Like, nah, they keep it in the realm of people hating other mutants or other species of people because they believe humans is gonna die out. You know what I mean? And but on that though, love the show. Can't wait for it to come back. Marvel, if you're listening to us or the powers that be, listen, keep the people who made the show special. Keep that same team. Crank out 10 more seasons and we'd be good. We'd be good.
this nigga said 10 seasons. God damn.
Well, I mean, that's
Uh,
not too far off
we're gonna
because
10
see.
seasons. Yes, sir.
with Kevin Feige wants a bunch more seasons. Like he said he wants at least 6 or 7. I said, I mean, that makes sense. Um, but they had already started recording for season 2 or getting the script ready, either getting the script ready or recording. I think they have the script because Kevin Feige is always like 15,000 steps ahead of everybody. So I think they have a script for season 2, and they had already like started getting everything ready to record when episode 5 came out.
Yeah.
I said, oh, that makes so much sense. I love that idea.
See, and that's the thing, man. It's like the dialogue recording that's not gonna take too long. It's the animation. I think that's really what makes it take years, because they trying to do this, trying to do that, trying to get the animation as crisp as possible. I hate waiting, but I don't mind, especially when you consider how the animation was on the original show. It was like, yo, I don't know if you've seen some of the memes that they've done about how whack the animation was for the original show.
It was really bad. It was really choppy.
It was terrible. It was
rewatching it. It was like rewatching it before it came on. I rewatched X-Men. I got to season like 2, and I was like, this is so choppy.
Oh, you were a trooper.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's rough, right?
God.
Yeah,
tough watch.
It's rough.
Oh my god, it's so choppy, but it was still so good. I was just like, the animation is killing me. I was like, but this is just me being spoiled at this point.
Oh, absolutely. See, like, we're a little bit older than you, so like we was actually kids during that time, and it was like, yo,
How old do you think I am?
You younger than us, though. I remember because you was on the show before. We're 40. We're not 40s.
Oh, never mind. Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right. Father time. I was like, I was a child when it came out too.
No, you won't.
It came out like what, 97, right?
Well, no, that's when it ended.
Not like us.
It was 92.
Yeah.
It started 92.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would have watched reruns when I was 4, so 96.
Okay.
Ooh,
but
okay.
So it's like we was letting the animation slide back then, because we was just happy to be seeing these comic book people in a cartoon. Like, we don't really we won't get much of that back then. But it definitely was choppy back then. They definitely updated it, gave it a bigger budget. What are y'all expectations for this next season? Do you think it's going to live up to what this first season did?
I don't expected nothing. And the reason I can't expect things, because when you start expecting things, then you start creating theories in your brain. When you start creating theories in your brain, you say the theories out loud to other people, and then these conspiracy theories happen. And then when it doesn't happen, you're like, oh, I can't believe they didn't do what I thought about 2 years ago in my head that I was thinking.
Like you work for them and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you work for them.
So
I can't believe it didn't go with my idea.
That it keeps the same adrenaline, like the same hype, the same. I expect it to get. I honestly expect it to get bigger, especially if you're ending with Apocalypse, with a dead Gambit, who was his horseman at one time. So you're ending on a very interesting note. So I just only expect it to get bigger.
What you think, G?
Okay. Expectations for the second season. Listen, from the travesty that we got when X-Men or Fox did X-Men Age of Apocalypse, and they nerf Apocalypse.
With Ivan Ooze.
Right. Listen, I have faith that they will handle this Age of Apocalypse that they're aiming to do, possibly with the past, the future parts of it. I mean, hey man, to kind of piggyback what you're saying, yes, it can only get bigger. You know what I'm saying? Get bigger. Pause. You know what I'm saying? Make it to where, throw in some more cameos. Like that was the cool part about this show too, where they did the cameos, but they wasn't like stuck on them. Yeah. Like, I want to see more X-Men coming in that we haven't seen in a while or have been given justice. And by the way, quick caveat, the way they portray Cyclops in this series,
yes, Yes.
Listen, they gave my man some respect
Finally.
this season. All right. Oh, that's it. That's it. But I wanted to ask y'all too. What was some of y'all best monologues from this season?
Ooh. I liked Magneto's joint because I think it
Which
was
one?
like probably episode 2. Whatever episode it was where he was on trial, that joint.
Yeah,
Mhm.
when Storm lost her powers.
Yeah, damn, and
Yeah.
she shot my baby. That was messed up. But he was saying something like he was just like calling them like all of these like, I'm a king, you a peasant type words, using all of these. Like he called them like sycophants. Or I don't know, some fancy word.
His speech there was good. Like really
Yo,
good.
it's so many quotables that Magneto had. And it would be like one of the humans would say something and then he would just have a clap back, like one of them Thanksgiving family clapbacks. Like he just
Let me see
quick
if I
with
can
it.
find it. Yeah.
Quick with it, man. So definitely Magneto though.
I don't have like a speech that was like a favorite of mine, but
Mhm.
I have a line that
Okay.
was a favorite of mine. And quite honestly, when people piss me off on TikTok, it's just my go-to thing to say now, whether or not it applies to them. When Bastian was like a dream as crippled as its dreamer, I said the disrespect is astronomical, and you didn't even have to do that to that man in a
He
wheelchair.
did.
Mm.
That was an ableist joke. Like,
I
this
said
is
you
not
didn't,
politically
have
correct.
to say that. Didn't have to say it at all.
That joke was funny.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
I choked. I
But
had
yeah,
water in my. I
Pause.
was like drinking when he said that, and I like choked them. I was like, okay, that was so unnecessary.
Gotcha.
you know what? I think it will be either that. Now I think episode 3, no 5, when Cyclops was talking to the reporter,
I was
and
just
he
about to
was
say that. Yeah.
listen.
Mm-hmm.
This man done lost his baby. His baby mom's is gone. His wife is back, but she's going through her shit. He was just over it. He was like, yo, time after time, we always save y'all. We're always giving y'all grace, but y'all don't give us
Mm-hmm.
grace. Fuck y'all. And it was like, all
Yep.
right, that's
Essentially,
it.
yeah.
I'm done with this. I was like, go ahead,
He
Cyclops.
pretty
I
much
Mm-hmm.
like
was
that.
like, listen, we pretty much have been the Avengers saving y'all time after time after time, but at the same time, y'all hate us.
Exactly.
We've been dealing with the hate and y'all trying to kill us, and we've been saving y'all time after time. I was like, yo, Cyclops, he put some bars on that one. That one was pretty dope.
If I could find that clip, man,
It's been
yeah,
so many, and then Storm that
that's a
had a
good one.
bunch of quotes, man. Like everything
His
she says is poetic.
thing. What's his name? Cyclops when when he had her do her entrance, and he said, "Give him the forecast." I said,
Yep.
Yo,
I said
shout
Yep.
out
that
to
line was
Bo
beautiful. Please.
DeMayo, man. Shout out to Bo, man. And
Hmm.
I don't know why they let him go, but this is something. This is something to have on your resume, because this is
Oh,
like
if they
the
let him go
highest.
because he's a whore. Not really.
Because he a
Not
hoe.
that.
I,
Not
I
necessarily that.
heard because he got an OnlyFans.
It
That's
was
what I
because he
heard.
has an OnlyFans and they
That's
were
what I hear.
sharing it. They were sharing it around. So of course it's a ruining of the public image as long as you're with Marvel.
Yeah,
He'll be back.
man.
I mean, listen, if James Gunn could have these wild ass tweets from back in the day, they removed him for a year. He came right back. They look, Guardians of the Galaxy 3 killed the shit. It's like, all right, y'all, I'm out of here. DC, good looking. I'm not sure if y'all noticed this detail in the last episode when Cyclops and Jean Grey was talking to Cable, and they're like giving him their last goodbyes, like we may not see you again, and she made it to where that he can see to see
Mm-hmm.
Cable the way that he can, right? And he
Mm-hmm.
had a little bit of tears in his eyes, right? But then it stopped, and then he turned around, shot his blast at somebody, and you still see the tears coming out of his eyes, like, I'm doing this for my family. I was like, I see what y'all did there. Good touch. Good touch, y'all.
Or like the one of my favorite moments of the show was in the finale because I feel like on the original show you had Cable coming back, but they never kind of spilled the beans that this is Cyclops' son from another time or whatever. So like the scene where Cyclops thinks he's gonna die and he's talking to Cable in a diner, like through telepathy. I thought that was a pretty dope scene. It's like you don't really get to see those heartfelt moments. You know, I really was my fear coming into the finale, episode 10 of season 1 was okay. So you have all these great moments in the first 9 episodes, except for that stupid Mojo episode with Jubilee. I could have done without it. I could have done with it. It won't horrible.
You gotta have at least one filler.
Yeah, true.
That's true.
True. I'll give him grace for it because it wasn't horrible. It was just bad compared to all these other episodes. But anyway, I was fearing that there might be a letdown somehow in the finale, and it wasn't. Like you felt all the emotions in the finale. I'm surprised nobody died though. That's the one thing I'm surprised about. I felt like they was gonna kill somebody off in the last episode.
But I mean,
nobody died.
You know, episode 5 had enough deaths to cover the entire season.
I'm still in therapy over episode 5. Like we all need to talk.
My chest hurt. My chest hurt bad.
Now, be honest, y'all. Did anybody shed a tear when Magneto told Leech, like in German, "Don't be afraid"? And he's matter before that, you know, Rogue was going mad.
Yeah,
you know, first Gambit saved. My bad. Even before that, big ass Master Mold over here, you know, trying to kill Magneto with Leech, and he's looking at Rogue through the little bit of sliver through the force field, whatever. You know, after
they showed his eyes, I knew he was about to die.
Yeah, so his eyes, right?
I was, oh man, he about to die.
And then he told boy, you know, don't be afraid. Next, you know, boom, gone. Supposedly, right? Rogue loses it. She goes out try to fight Massimo all by herself. Gambit, being the true down south nigga that he is, you know, coming into action through the motorcycle at her, boom, make it blow up, goes to master mode. He gets stabbed in the chest, blows himself up with the thing, and now she's gone. Did y'all shed a tear? Was it a tear? Was it full on?
I was full on crying.
Okay, there we go.
I was this
there
close.
we go.
I was full on crying because, first of all, the speech, the self speech he was talking, like the little monologue he was giving, talking about the names Gambit, and then he was monologuing as he was going in action. I'm sitting here like, please don't do what I think you're about to do. Like, I was stressing out in my seat, and when he got stabbed, I was in my room at first. When I first watched it, I was in my room. He got stabbed. I was like I got stabbed. And I was like, oh my God. And then he blew himself up. And I was like, I said, what? Yeah. And it just I didn't cry until after Rogue was holding him with no gloves on. And she said, I can't feel you. Lost it.
That was it.
Lost it.
That was it.
Ridiculous.
Oh my God.
What is Marvel doing to us, man?
Now, when my brother watched it like after us, so we're all in my dad's room. The 4 of us are in my dad's room, and we're watching it. I know what's about to happen, and my brother knows what's about. My dad knows what's about, but my baby brother has no idea what's going on because he has not watched anything, and we weren't saying nothing. When Gambit got stabbed, he screamed so loud in my ear. He was like, no! I was like, and he looked at me and I said, he was like, why wouldn't you tell me?
Why would I tell you that?
I was like, why would I tell you that? Don't do that. And then he was like, he's not going to die though, right? He's fine. And I was like,
well, you gotta watch.
Just keep on watching.
And then he died literally like 5 seconds later. He looked at me and I was like, I didn't write it.
So you
don't look at me
as the big sister that's supposed to shield the baby brother. You was like, no, I went through this trauma, and now you also.
Now we can trauma bond together.
It was like I was very hurt, but I did not boohoo cry until she said, "I can't." Man.
I'm not gonna lie, that episode 5, man, it was just so many levels of, like, you know, first, also too, what kind of got me that the episode after, what, you know, Charles was talking to his his space boo, and
Mhm.
you know, at the
And
end
he
of the
felt it.
episode, he was like, "No, not my children.
Ah!
They were supposed to be singing, laughing, making love, and now they're gone." I was like,
Man,
damn.
I'm
That was
just like,
crazy.
what? I can't do this. And it was really the thing, like with it happening at the Hellfire Gala, it only reminded me of the fact that the X-Men, and not even the X-Men, but all of the mutants, quite literally just got almost essentially annihilated in this
Mm,
in the comic
All of
books
it.
Yep.
during the Hellfire Gala. And I was just
Yep.
like, please, I can't keep doing this.
You know what, y'all? I just thought about it, man. That episode can be on the same level as Game of Thrones, the Red Wedding.
The Red Wedding, I would put it
Ooh.
there. I would put it there.
Think about it. Think about it.
Yo, Mike Green, if you watching this, I'm still mad at you for spoiling that shit for me 10 years ago at work. I did not see Game of Thrones that Sunday. I came to work Monday,
Mhm.
sitting beside Mike, because Mike sat next to me. He was like, yo, the episode was crazy. I was like, look, don't tell me nothing about it. I haven't seen the episode yet. He was like, cool, man, I ain't gonna spoil it for you. He was like, the only thing I'm gonna say is Red Wedding. I'm like, so nigga, that means some people gonna die at the wedding?
It's gonna be blood involved.
What are
for
you
sure.
doing?
For sure. But yeah.
Mike. But yeah.
Damn you, Mike. But yeah.
Dope.
Nah, her
Dope.
that sadness she was feeling when she said that, when I started crying, I felt like I was watching Sheldon Cooper's like speech on the end of the Big Bang Theory after he won the Nobel Prize. I cried then. And then
Mm.
immediately after that is the theme song for the show because it's over. And I'm just like boohoo crying. I was like, what is going on? And why
He
is
was
this happening?
invested.
Yeah.
I ain't mad
And
at
I've never really cared too much for Gambit. I don't think that he is a bad character
Mhm.
at all. I think he's an ass in the comic books, 100% for sure. Just
Fair.
like I think Scott is a whore. But
Let that man do what he's gonna do, man.
he is
He's
gonna
been
do what
through
he's
a
gonna
lot.
do.
Let him
He is gonna do
have
what he's
some
gonna.
fun.
And just like somebody was like, have you noticed that every time Scott gets a woman, it's somebody crazy? I said no. He's attracted to people who have psychic abilities,
He's
and he
toxic.
makes them crazy
He's toxic, pretty much.
as
What
hell.
you're saying.
But I was like, but I really did appreciate how they did Gambit in the show. And people are like, oh, I can't believe that they did him. I was like, do y'all not know anything about this man? I may not like him, but I know a lot about him. And he seemed pretty accurate to me.
Quick question for y'all. What was some of your coolest action moments in the show?
Oh, I like episode 5 after the statue falls on all the mutants, and Magneto was like, "No," he like snapped. This nigga picked
with
up
the
a train
Yes.
and used a train as a whip. I have never. You will be. I was like, God, this nigga just used a train as a whip.
That was dope.
Mine is also in episode 5, but I think it would probably be how close it came to Nightcrawler saving Rogue, and was it Magneto? Either Rogue or Magneto, or Rogue or Gambit. It was one of the two because Gambit was already up there. I think it was Rogue and Magneto. But how close he came in teleporting them away from that blast, and then he didn't die. I was
yeah. I remember now.
I was like,
I thought he was
going second. Jesus.
I thought he died. I was like, not my boy, but I will say this too.
And I felt bad for her then too because she wanted to help, but she couldn't take her gloves off because she would have killed him. And that's when Gambit had to come over there and like assist. I was like, dang, girl, I feel so bad for her. I feel so bad for her all the time.
I want to say in episode 8 or 9, when the Prime Sentinels came to the X Mansion, and it was just Wolverine and Nightcrawler, and there was a moment where you saw the Nightcrawler teleportation
from his point of view.
I was like, yo, see that was so dope to see that in that moment. Love that. I also love when the X-Men fought Madeline Pryor. You know,
Oh,
Yes,
just
yeah, that was pretty cool.
yeah,
yes.
just her doing her thing and seeing how fluid the animation was. Like there was no skips. It was this beautiful chaos, and I love every single moment. And also, too, shit, I can't forget the first moment Cyclops came into the warehouse at episode 1. He's over here
Hmm.
using his blast in a way that nobody has ever seen him done before. And then the magnum opus, the Blackbird is going down. Everybody got the flyers, everybody's getting picked up. He was like, all right, I'm cool. No parachute. I'm gonna do my Captain America thing. You know what I'm saying? Jump out the plane, use his optic blast to slow him down and
Hmm.
landed superhero style.
When I
Hey,
saw that, I knew that this show was going to be something crazy.
Hmm.
From that moment, in fact, I might go back and just watch all the episodes, except for the
same,
Jubilee episode. I
same.
think I might skip
Tell
that.
me, you can't be a hater all your life.
I'm gonna skip that one. Yeah, I'm gonna skip it. But yes, definitely dope. Let me ask you this: Is this the best animated series ever?
Ever?
Ever or that
Ever?
Marvel has
As far
done.
as this one, like it wouldn't be fair. I guess, to compare this to other series that got multiple seasons. So just compare this one season of this show to
Okay.
one season of any other animated series.
Or okay, so compare this to like the first season of other established shows that has been out.
Or you could do it the best season of whatever show it is, because it's the best season of this show, even though it's one season, but this is the best season so far of this show.
Mm,
How does it stack up?
mm,
I'm hard pressed to think of something I would put before this one season.
whew. Um,
Oh, man. I think I only have one show that I would put before this.
Okay.
okay.
I think I only have one.
What
I
is it?
do.
What that be?
Castlevania Nocturne.
That's
Okay.
my turn was dope.
Okay. Okay, I
It
give
was
you
I
dope.
that.
have to.
I give you that. Yeah.
And
Okay.
it's
Solid
not
pick.
even by far, it's not even really by far, but it was just like Castlevania Nocturne's story
Yeah.
was it's like it's not like it's not a standalone, but it is a standalone. But it was so engaging
Hmm.
with all of the people of color
Yep.
and how you can relate to at least one person, even if it's not like the main character. You can relate. Like there were some people who were relating to Drolta, but not in a way that made them like sound bad, but it's like it almost was like Drolta didn't really have a choice,
Hmm.
but she enjoyed doing what she like what she was doing, because I mean you don't have a choice to. If you don't enjoy it, your ass is gonna die. But I was like, I was trying to think of when I was watching XMEN97. I was like, I love this show. And I just feel like if it comes out with a season 2, like how Castlevania Nocturne is going to come out with a season 2, I think those two things would be competing against each other,
Mm,
story and animation wise.
okay. I give you that because the animation for Castlevania is it's just gorgeous. It's just beautiful.
It
What I'm
is.
saying, at least. Shit. Even Blood of Zeus is
Mm.
dope. You know what I'm saying? But
I
I
know
will.
that's the same people actually.
There you go. Perfect. I will say this though. Invincible, first season. Now that show, when people watch it the very first time, everybody was like, this is weak. This is, Saturday cartoons, or this is, wholesome. Until the very end of that first episode, that engaged the entire world to watch the entire season. It was a story, character building, world building. And then we get the last 2 episodes of that season. It totally eclipsed everything in that moment for like months. That's all that anybody can talk about, was just how this entire story can be like a real mature adult show done in animation. So I would say that's probably a runner up to X-Men 97. Damn. It could be recency bias though, but yeah, X-Men 97 just got every single bullet point done for
Yeah.
how a show should be done now. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but besides Invincible, besides Castlevania Nocturnal, besides Blood of Zeus. I can't think of any more really fucking with those, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's for me, it's all of that and how dope of a show X-Men 97 was. But it's like then on top of that, it's like another scoop of nostalgia on it too. So it's like it's in my mind. Listen, if they just brought back X-Men and it was just a little bit better than it was when we were kids.
Mm,
If it was still in that same ilk, I still would have enjoyed it. I wouldn't have enjoyed it this much,
mm.
but just kind of, you like things that remind you of your childhood, especially something that reminds you of Saturday morning cartoons, because they don't really do that anymore. You know what I'm saying? It's not really a thing now. So
Right.
that really reminded. In fact, that's the only thing that could have made this better. If every episode premiered on Saturday morning, that would have been dope. That really would have been dope.
Yeah.
But
I will say this too, real quick, RA. But Batman, the animated series, when that first came out, like it was still
like
geared
that one.
to kids, but there were still adult moments in it as well. Now imagine
Exactly.
that show now.
That'd be good.
Listen, I believe it's in the works, man.
Mm.
I really, with the success of this show, I can't see DC sitting back and being like, well, Disney just did something dope with one of their 90s projects. What are we gonna do? The niggas gonna do the same thing, man. It breaks my heart. Kevin Conroy isn't here to
rest in peace,
do the
man.
voice of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I have my friend is in the chat.
What up, Kaori's friend? What's her friend name?
Captain Diesel. I was looking at the
What up, Cap? All right, so we're gonna switch gears a little bit. We're gonna put like a button on this whole Drake and Kendrick Lamar thing because they finally stopped the beefing last week.
Finally,
this nigga Kendrick dropped the whole nuclear bomb and was like, you know what? Forget me talking about all of this stuff with Drake. I'm just gonna really elaborate on the fact that nigga ain't American. He's a whole Canadian. He don't got a side. He don't have like a region he could, like call on or make. He's gonna make a Toronto song. That doesn't even exist. This nigga Kendrick was like, listen, I'm gonna make a real Bay Area, West Coast, LA hip hop song. And like that's all you can't cut on social media without hearing they not like us now.
No, you can't.
It's crazy. That was like so smart on so many levels of Kendrick.
Let me ask y'all though. So do y'all really think that Kendrick has won this battle?
Oh, it's absolutely 100%.
Done deal.
It's done.
Okay, making sure because I mean there are still some people out there like Drake had the best diss song, but Kendrick has just the best song. And I'm like, well, if you think about it, this is like a repeat of Drake versus Meek Mill. Drake came back with the charge up back to back, had everybody in the world playing back to back. This ain't your tour, it's your girl's tour. You know what I'm saying?
It's hilarious.
Kendrick outdid Drake at his own game. Like that's masterful. You know what I'm saying? You can say what you want about 616 in LA, or thank you, Captain. Appreciate that. Or you could say what you want about, Meet the Grams. But the way that he dropped in songs after Drake's so-called nuke, it stopped the momentum of Family Matters. And it's all that people can talk about, whether it was real or not. Who cares? Everybody lies in rap. It is what it is, you know what I'm saying? But after he dropped that, and then he dropped the song of the spring, summer, whatever. You got white folks crip walking. You got kids in the high school, trying to figure out what is the double, triple entendre in each song, whatever. It's like, listen, man, this nigga Kendrick is cold. He is diabolical.
I actually said earlier today, and very few people got what I was saying, mainly because the people who didn't get it was who I was talking about. I said that Drake and Griffith from Berserk were the same people, just in different fonts.
Okay. I see where you're going with that. Okay, go ahead. I like that angle.
Right. I was like, I said, well, first of all, y'all have the exact same fan base. Apparently, you can do no wrong. I said, whether or not people want to believe or it's a lie about, I was like, you being a 31-year-old man texting anybody's 14-year-old phone is
Which
gross.
is crazy.
Seems
Is fucking gross.
Crazy.
You being a 31-year-old man co-producing a TV show about sexed up teenagers in high school is a problem.
I mean, it's
I would give him grace for that because
The
you're
only
not gonna
reason
have
that I don't,
teenagers producing the show. It's always gonna be adults. You know what
this
I'm
is
saying?
not, but the reason that I don't is because it's like the same circle of people. And it's like around the exact same time, you're also talking to a 15, 16-year-old Billie Eilish. It's
Oh, they were
weird.
supposed to
I
have
didn't know
told.
that.
She
I didn't hear
she
that.
did confirm that her and Drake were friends when she was younger. And I'm like, that's weird. It's weird. Whether or not, yeah, I was like, y'all are, it's a weird thing. And then for
Like,
people
yeah,
to
why
be
are
going
y'all
back,
friends? Like,
right.
that's
And then for
weird.
people to be going back and listening to his music and actually listening to the lyrics now. I slept with somebody I used to babysit. That's weird. That's
I'm sorry,
odd.
what? He
That is
said that?
odd. In a song, yes. It's one of his
Whoa.
lyrics. And he actually sent a cease and desist to somebody who was listening to his song and like breaking down his lyrics. Sir, are you okay?
Yeah. Ooh.
Listen,
Are you okay? Do you need help?
Mm.
And then those are the exact same people are like, oh, well, Griffith didn't do anything wrong. I was like, not only is Griffith a backstabber, Griffith sexually assaulted that girl until she was
True.
in a vegetative state,
True.
mentally broken, and then cut off
Mhm.
his best friend's arm or almost killed his best friend. And that was his
Mhm.
best friend's girl. What is wrong with y'all? Griffith didn't do anything wrong. I bet he didn't.
Yeah, he
In
did.
your strange, weird eyes, I bet he didn't.
That's insane. This nigga Drake fell for the. You know what? I think he's a victim of his own success. I think it was one of those
Mhm.
situations where, what was that line in Batman where they was like, either
Live
you
long enough to be the villain, or
Yeah.
like you die hero or
Hero
live
or
long
live
enough to
long
see
enough to
yourself
become
be the
a-
villain.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Drake, I think he got caught up with his popularity and how like on top of rap and on top of music, because I mean really it was him and like Taylor Swift as far as like people being popular in music.
Who was Dr. Knight? Is that an inside thing?
That's me.
Okay.
My name on most of my social media is Dr. Kaori Knight.
Wait a minute. You hate puppies?
I do not hate puppies. Captain Diesel with me. I have 3 dogs in the house, 2 of which are sitting right next to me. He's crazy, so
That's
we're
funny.
not paying attention to him.
But it's like, why would you go against Kendrick Lamar if you know for a fact that you not like that? The only
I'm
way
not
I
going
think
against
you
somebody
do
who has
it.
a Pulitzer.
That's what I'm saying.
The
Like
man
you
has a
have
way with
to,
words.
you
Right.
gotta be humble. It's funny, all these Kendrick tracks is coming up, and it just makes sense. Be humble, because I look at it like this: Drake had everything to lose and really nothing to gain by taking the bait that Kendrick put out there. Kendrick
Mhm.
put the bait out there on the Metro Boomin and Future song.
Mhm.
Shout out to them. Future with the ad libs, whistling,
It's
the
annoying.
whistling ad libs. I like the whistle ad lib. I think it's dope. But it's like all Drake had to do was not say nothing and go on tour and make $90 million a year and keep making hits, and we would not be talking about this, right?
True.
He didn't do that. He
True.
picked a fight with a nigga they called the Boogeyman. He won't ready. Him and his room full of writers. Some niggas won't ready. And now, fast forward, he's costing himself millions and millions of dollars. He actually dropped a shoe last week,
Yeah.
collaboration with Nike, and the shoe is just sitting. It's not
Really?
All I'm going to say
it's
is,
not
in my
selling like they
opinion,
projected it to sell. And part of the reason is because of the pedo allegations
Mm.
that Kendrick put against Drake. Now, is it true? Is it not? I don't know. But the perception is everything when you're talking about business.
Mhm.
This nigga lost himself millions of dollars when he could have just shut up and made hits.
in my humble opinion,
No pun intended.
Might come up.
when you tell somebody to shut up and go make some drums, and they make a beat on BBL Drizzy, and the owl from Duolingo is throwing it back on Twitter to that song. Not Twitter, but on TikTok. Throwing it back to TikTok on that song. You have lost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have lost.
Whenever BBO Drizzy got everybody dissing you, they don't even know you or got like a real beef with you. It's just it's a layup. It's like, okay, that's a win. That's the first time I heard a beef beat make it into the
He
zeitgeist.
offered
A beef
a free
beat.
beat. He offered a free beat to whoever could
Exactly.
come up with the best. Right, I was like, that is
That's diabolical.
embarrassing.
I
And
did hear the Latin version of a BBO Drizzy. Yo, it's dope.
it
If y'all
is.
ain't heard
is.
it, that
It
joint's
is.
I
dope.
heard that joint. It's crazy, man.
BBL.
I
that
said,
shit,
well,
that shit rock.
And
Um,
somewhere future is like, yo, I pretty much had a hand in setting this whole thing off because he had a thing with Drake too.
mhm.
Supposedly it was either over a girl
I don't
or
believe it's
over the
over.
fact that
It was probably over, girl.
that Drake didn't do another joint album with him. He did it with 21 Savage.
Right.
It's
So I
probably
know
over,
Future is just like sitting back with his hands, like twiddling his fingers, like Mr.
Mhm.
Burns. So it was an excellent. Like, I didn't even have to rap a bar against Drake at it. I sick
Exactly.
my dog on it.
Mhm.
It's crazy.
And you know what's crazy? Like before their beef started, like that was already such a popular song. I mean, number one for like weeks and played in every club across wherever, you know what I'm saying? And then for that to get eclipsed by Not Like Us, listen, man, I haven't seen anything like it. Matter of fact, REA, we was talking about this earlier. So now that the beef has settled and J. Cole apologized, he's on somebody's beach right now, counting seashells,
Smart man.
just living life. You know what I'm
Somebody
saying?
said J. Cole was like Omar. What's the dude name? The dude from that was in Boys in the Hood. What was the brother name in Boys in the
Oh,
Hood?
I can't remember his name, but I know what you're talking about.
Hakeem or
What was the nigga? No, the one that was a square.
The one, yeah, him.
yeah,
I cannot
Remember
remember
he
his
was
name.
like, "Yo, let me out" when it was about.
Yeah.
Somebody said
No,
that
J.
was
Cole.
J. Cole. Nah, man, let me
Yeah,
out.
let me out. Yep.
Let me
Yeah,
out.
Smart move, honestly.
it is.
For real.
But my question, well, we discussed this earlier. Who else is up after Cole, Drake, and Kendrick? Like who's going to be and Captain, you're right, that the B pushed back all of the fire projects that was going to drop. Yeah, I would agree because there are some artists that was trying to like put out music and they
And
couldn't.
they waited.
They waited until like this weekend. I'm seeing Conway, I'm seeing Rhapsody, dropping their projects. Before nobody cared because everybody was just waiting on YouTube or Instagram for something to drop. But I want to ask y'all though, after the big three go away, who is the next big 3, 2, or 1 at this point?
Yo,
I don't really
don't think
listen
it's
to
gonna
people like
happen.
that, so I really couldn't tell you. But I do know that my favorite rap beef song was playing in a club here for probably about 4 nights straight. And it
Man.
was Weakest Link by Chris Brown. It wasn't nobody else.
Wait, is that the one he just did?
Against Quavo?
Mhm.
I only heard that joint like one time. He got
You
him.
went
though.
in.
I
in.
got it. I have it on my phone, but my friend, they came
What?
out to visit, and they were like, "What club should we go to?" And I said,
Mhm.
"I mean,
Yeah,
I
we're
can
gonna do it
get you
again.
into literally any club on the strip. I have to know where you're going so that I can put you on the guest list." And they're like, "Oh, well, we want to go here, here, and here." And I was like, "All right, cool." So I like text my friend, and I was like, "Hey, I have a group of people that want to go do this, 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 this." And he's like, "I got you." And then they text me and they're like, "We've been to like 4 clubs, 5
Mhm.
clubs over the past few days, and they keep playing that Chris Brown song." I said, "Which Chris Brown song?" And she was like, didn't he do a diss to Quavo?" I said, "Yeah, it's called Weakest Link." She was like, "Yeah, that." I was like, "Interesting. Very interesting."
Indeed. Indeed.
I said, "Good
Yo,
thing I'm not there."
anytime your diss song becomes like a hit record, you did something right.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's why this whole Kendrick and Drake is over because like he out the Drake.
He sure did.
It's
Yep.
crazy. But you know what I
Um,
think though, for real? I think this is the last time we're ever going to see this. I don't see another historic rap beef that just captures the attention of everybody like this. I don't see it would take too many things, the perfect storm of too many things happening at once. Like you would
mhm,
first have to have everybody going back to actually caring about lyricism, which ain't gonna happen because 15 to 22-year-olds now have been growing up on Lil Yachty and
Mm-hmm.
mumble rap. They don't care about lyrics. That's not gonna
Well, they
happen.
don't care because they can't hear.
Exactly. And you're gonna have two guys who really are lyrical, and then they work their way up to the top of rap over years and been throwing subs on songs against each other for
mhm.
years. Ain't gonna happen. This is it. So I hope everybody enjoyed this for what it was.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It was a dope battle. It really reminded me of like some of the old beefs and the Biggie and the
Mhm.
Pac, the Nas and Jay-Z's. Like it reminded me of that. But this was it.
Yeah.
This was
You know
it.
what? To Captain's
Macklemore.
cheat, a chat said, I
Who
do feel
said
sorry
Macklemore?
for no, Macklemore, but no, I do feel sorry for Big Sean. He dropped a song in the middle of all of this. Dropped a book in the middle of all of this. Ain't nobody talking about my
He
Big
was
Sean.
spitting on that joint
He,
too.
he
He was
was.
spitting on that joint.
He was, but
And then
he
nobody
didn't
cared.
read the room.
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? It's like just wait maybe a month or two, and then do you roll out? You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Like
you know what though? I don't know if you're talking about. I don't know if you're talking about just the song that he did because he dropped a
both.
single a couple months ago. He actually
Yeah.
dropped the album. The album is out.
No, he dropped that single, and then like a
Uh-huh.
book, like a week or
Oh.
two later. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So it's like
Everybody reading that, bro.
your rollout wasn't done correctly. Like you were
Right.
supposed to wait until
Read the room.
after the attention has died down
Read
from
the
these
room.
two.
Yeah, I feel
You know what
like
I'm
Big
saying?
Sean is big slept on too, man. But
Yeah, he is.
it is what it is. Like his only crime is that he's not Kendrick, Drake, or J. Cole. Like that's really his only crime. Like I feel like at his best, he can mess with those guys. But it's I don't know. And then Kanye crazy too. So I think that kind of hurt him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Kanye doing Kanye things. He's
yeah.
at this point, Kanye is an adjective now. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
He's what you use to like describe something out of the norm. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you're just doing Kanye things right now. Why the captain said Sexy Red is up next? No, we don't need that to be next. All right,
hold on. Sexy Red.
Sexy Red. Keep her.
Up next for what? A venereal disease.
When you
I
guys
don't
were
think that
asking
counts.
about who was up next after these three,
Right.
Sexy Red. Oh my god. That's why
I
I've
listen to. I'm
slowly
gonna
moving
like.
on to
I don't
other
know. I be
genres.
listening to classical music, opera. So I couldn't tell
Hey,
you.
Hey, listen. I listen when I need to think. I listen to Bach. I put on
Mm.
some Bach real quick. It just
Okay.
makes my brain work in different ways.
Well, I also play the violin, so like I be trying to listen to like different stuff.
Yeah.
and nothing wrong
Listen,
about
man.
that.
You
Shoot.
gotta diversify your
Yeah.
bonds. You know
You
what I'm
gotta
Yeah, of course.
you gotta detox yourself from the toxicity, which is rap a lot these
Yes,
days. You know what I'm
opera.
saying?
Hey.
I listen to opera.
Gotta switch it up.
I
I'm
can't
not
help
mad at
that. French opera specifically.
That's
Oh,
that's classy. You gotta
That's fancy on
put
top
a
of fancy.
pinky up.
Classy.
That's different. Yo, that's stupid. That is so stupid. Oh my god.
What else
Jay, you
you
got
got,
anything
man?
else, man?
Not really, man, but just I guess touch on this real quick. Not sure if y'all seen today the bombshell that a lot of people wanted to see just to kind of
Oh,
sum things up about Diddy and Cassie.
That
It
nigga
was
messing up.
disgusting, despicable to catch that. You know what I'm saying? On a
They
Hotel camera.
swore
I
up
thought
and
it was fake
down.
at first.
They
I was like, yo, this
swore up
gotta
and
be
down that girl was lying. I
this
got
gotta
into
be
it with my
AI.
mom. I got into it with my mother
Oh,
because
really?
she's lying and da, da, da. I was like, I don't understand. I was like, but they swore up and down that girl was lying. I mean, it was in his towel out
Did
the
she still think
shower.
that she was lying when he settled in like 2 days?
Yes, she still thought that she was lying, and
Like,
she was like,
nah,
"That's
anybody
not
A
giving
lot of
true."
her
people thought she
millions.
was
And I
lying.
said, "Okay." I
Yeah.
said something. I said something's going to come out one of these days, and you
Mhm.
gonna be eating them words. And so my dad was actually the one who saw the video first, because we all work in here. So like he saw it while we were all at work, and she was like, "What happened?" And he was like, "Footage about Diddy beating up Cassie," and she was like, "Let me see." And I said, "How the turntables?
How the
What were
turns?
you saying? What were you saying?" And she was like, "Shut up, Christina." I was like,
I'm gonna
"Okay."
start saying that. I'm like, how the
How the
turntables.
turntables?
Hilarious. Hilarious.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
that video was sick, bro. Like he literally like
Disgusting.
kicked
Walk
her
her
in the
down,
butt.
dog.
But this is the thing though. How you kick
In a
somebody in the butt and you
towel.
got on like house shoes or like slides? How you kick? You gonna break your foot? This nigga, he's stupid. Okay, because it's like obviously you shouldn't be putting your hands on nobody. But if you're gonna do it, why would you do it out in public when you know the video cameras is around? Like,
Exactly.
number one, number two, how is this just now coming out?
Mm.
I think they were
What's the
asking. I
holding
think that
on
they
to
were
this?
asking about it because, of course, like when he settled out of court, she wasn't done. And so they had requested footage,
Mhm.
but the hotel had to find the footage. So
That
she
makes
had
Okay.
to
sense.
provide like all of that information for the dates and everything. They
Mhm.
had to hand it over to the police, and then the police were like, "Okay, you can release this footage now."
Oh,
That's crazy.
so
That's
damn.
wild.
I mean,
She
this
deserved
is
every penny she got and more, man. And he need to go to jail.
yeah, hell yeah. I
That's
mean,
You beat my
crazy.
ass outside of an elevator in a bath towel?
right. And then the way that she curled up into a ball, it's like, yo, this might have happened
Oh, and they
before.
dragged her on top of all that. Like,
Yeah,
this
man.
is like
Like,
some stuff off a bad soap opera. Like, I don't think you would see something like this from somebody that's famous in like in real life. Like he did all he did, kicked her twice, made sure he forget the Louis Vuitton bag. That was probably like a $10,000 bag. He picks that up and then like
Drags
drags
her
her.
back to the room.
These people don't be
listen, man.
thinking, bro. Like this.
Puff is, I mean, before it was allegations, there was no like actual proof. There was paperwork, but still no actual proof. This kind of proved everybody right that he's a scumbag. You know what I'm saying? And you don't do that to like a 90-pound girl, or I mean,
And it's
any
not
woman,
like he was
period.
in a hurry either. It looked like she waited until like, because if you're in a hurry, my ass is taking the stairs. If like, and so she like, he was in the shower, and it was like she figured he was going, like she was going to be in the elevator before he got in the shower or out of the shower. He sprinted out of the shower holding on to that towel and grabbed, like she wasn't even paying attention. Like she was on the, like, look, she was tying her shoe or whatever it was that she was doing, because she was looking down and she was like bent down like on the floor almost. And he smacked the shit out of the back of her head and pulled her hair back. Like, sir, are you okay?
Yeah,
that shit
yeah.
crazy.
Now, is he going to jail? I mean,
He's got to.
He
Right?
needs to.
he needs to. But
you know what?
you know,
I think
She
he's
would have
going
to
to
file fresh
go.
charges.
But
right.
he might not go for that. The statute of limitations might be over for that. But I think it's this whole Fed case with the sex trafficking. Sex trafficking. So
Yeah.
eventually he gonna go to jail.
And then
But
on
it
top
also,
of that,
yeah, because it depends on when that was. And
right.
then like she would have to basically file fresh charges to include in the sex trafficking charges as assault.
That's
Yeah, and then I guess that depending on what they might have agreed to at a court with what he settled for her, you know, maybe she can't file charges.
Right.
like that against him because she won pretty much a civil case against him. You know what I'm saying? But she could still provide ammo for the other case.
Federal case, yeah. She
You know
can
what I'm
provide ammo
saying?
for the federal case for sure.
Yeah. So I mean, hey man, what a way to fuck up your legacy by being a piece of shit. You know what
Who
I'm saying?
was it that he hung out the window?
Oh, or like Wale or something.
Wale.
Yeah.
Go ahead and get your footage out too, sir.
Which is hey, Wale, get paid, my nigga.
Yes, sir. DMV represent. Get that money, dog.
I can see some sleazy lawyer making up one of them campaign joints, one of them advertisements. Have you been hurt by Sean Diddy Combs? Has he held you over a balcony with 3 other large gentlemen?
Right.
You might be.
Has he ever touched you inappropriately at a party?
1-800-NO-DIDDY. It's like all of these fit. This is ridiculous.
Yo, yeah, man. But I mean, so there's now seeing that kind of like how R. Kelly, people say, don't play his songs anymore. When it comes to Diddy, if you ever was a fan of his music or anything he has produced or touched, how do you feel about that music now?
I'm just glad. I'm just glad his music won't never great. So like, there's no conflict because his music was never that great for real. He had like a couple of joints. Every song I can think of now. Every song I could think of that Diddy was in that was dope, it was dope because of somebody else. Like, it won't just dope because Diddy was in it.
Of course.
Like, I think about the Benjamins, the Victory joint, Busta Rhymes was in that. Like, Big was in like every other song.
Him and Mace, you know what I'm saying? So
the joints with Mace, yeah.
I didn't really care for his music after the whole situation with Chick from Danity Kane. So
yeah.
Because she said, I've been trying to tell y'all for years.
Yeah,
y'all call
she
me a
has
liar.
been.
I said, listen, I ain't calling you no liar.
She has been.
Like, I agree.
I want to see her tweets right now. I want to know what she has to say. Like, I told y'all. Like, there you go.
Yeah, how many artists are involved? Because he can't do that. Yeah, I would want to know how many artists were involved in that whole situation too. But that sounds like it's probably fucking a lot.
And now I do believe he fought Cole. I do believe he smacked Drake at one point. You know what I'm saying?
Like, I mean, Cole said it. He said in the song that he put Diddy on, and Diddy did a little prayer at the end of it. I was like, I always knew it was something more with Diddy, because every time he had an interview, he was all like, well, we just talk about positivity, and you know what I'm saying? We just trying to get that light out there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, take that. I was like, nah, this nigga hiding something.
Yeah.
I feel the same way with The Rock. I'm not saying The Rock done nothing crazy like this, but every time you hear an interview with The Rock, he always got something to say about, well, hardest worker in the room, and we just did our thing. I like, nah, bro. Like, every single interview was that. Like, I feel like the real
he
has
definitely
never been
had beef with Vin Diesel. Like, they all said that, and so like
whenever
they had those conversations, he would just be like, they'd be like, how is your relationship with Vin Diesel? Oh, he's a hardworking guy. You don't actually.
I was like, yo, shut. The only time I've seen him say something negative about somebody was Tyrese, which is wild. That's how I know he really don't like Tyrese. Tyrese had like, this was years ago. He had like sent them his new album, and The Rock got on his Instagram and was like, I just want to say that I hate Tyrese for sending me this piece of shit. He was holding the CD. I was like, God. And he was dead serious. He like threw that joint into the atmosphere. I was like, that's crazy.
When they had that really blooper reel, not the blooper. Well, yeah, not the blooper. The one in Fast and Furious when Rock his character came to the house and Tyrese said, hide your baby oil, and he said, hide your big ass forehead, and they were like, that was like an actual, that wasn't his line. They were like, that was not The Rock's line. So Tyrese was genuinely like, what? And and Ludacris, when he spit it out, that was like his real reaction. I said yes, because he does not like Tyrese. So that was like his real actual insult.
I gotta see that.
He does not like the man.
Yeah, I gotta see that. Captain said, y'all think Cassie helped them organize some of that stuff? You never know.
Well, considering how technically she was, a slave, she probably did.
You never know. Just because she was a victim don't necessarily mean she's 100% innocent neither. could be enough to go around. You know, damn,
and
tragic situation.
being in situations like that, especially when you feel like you're technically being trafficked, which she probably was. Like you can't do anything. Like you can't go anywhere. You can't tell anybody. So it's just like you don't really have, if you don't want to get like your body found in a ditch somewhere, obviously you're going to do what he asks you to.
True. I mean,
And
because
then
you got money like that, you can definitely make
yeah.
that happen.
And how many people do you think might have been like involved with any of this bullshit he has going up against him right now? Because I mean,
Too
looking
many.
at this and seeing how long it's been kept quiet all this time, it's like, who did he paid?
This is like an
Or
Epstein Island size
Mhm.
thing. Like it's hard to say like an actual number because it could be quite literally anybody in the industry, period.
It's a lot of sick people in the world.
And people are always like, "Oh, the Illuminati." I'm like, the Illuminati ain't got nothing on what Diddy got going on in that house. Relax.
listen, he might want to follow Russell Simmons' steps, go to, sell his houses, go to Bali, where there's no extradition laws, and live his life like a king in Bali. Because
You saw he was on a plane when they raided his house. They raided his house. It was like Diddy is on a
very much
plane
elsewhere
right now. It was crazy, man. But that's all I got, man.
same here.
Okay. Well, Kiara, thank you for being on the show.
It was fun.
Yo, plug your socials and all of that good stuff.
Oh, whenever somebody says plug your socials, I'll be forgetting. I was gonna say, if y'all ever come out to Vegas, let me know.
Word.
Oh, apparently you the plug in the city, so we definitely will let you know.
Well, I tell you, I have only ever been kicked out of one club, but even with me being kicked out
we
of
gotta go
one
back to that
club,
story.
All right, yeah, real quick. Tell us how you got how you got kicked out of the club.
So it was my birthday weekend, and we were out here. I was out here with my sister and her best friend, and I don't remember what happened, to be perfectly honest. Was it that? So we went to, because there was two places we could go to. We could go to the bank and then shut up, Captain Diesel over there. You hush. We went to this club called the Bank, and then there's like a club that we went to before it. I think it was like called the Chateau or something like that. But anyway, at the club we went to before the Bank, we got from 11 to 1, ladies drank free. And so they knew it was my birthday. So they were like, you would get 3 passes, and they were like, here you go. And she handed me like 7.
Damn.
And she was like, happy birthday. I was like, oh, thank you. And I'm just like going through, and I'm getting because it was up for a vodka. You could do a vodka mixed drink or champagne. I'm a vodka girl. So I'm sitting over here like, here's my little ticket. They're giving me my vodka and Coke. And then my sister's best friend, she was like, I'm about to buy you shots for your birthday. And I'm like, all right, cool. So she bought me 3 shots. I had, before we walked out of the Chateau, I had probably about 15 drinks.
And that's why you got
so,
and you don't remember.
Then we go to the bank, but I was good to go to the bank. I was fine because I remember speaking to the person who, like, his name was Brian. I remember speaking to Brian, and he was like, hi, birthday girl. I was like, hi. And he said, here are your passes. There's 15 of them in here. Don't come to me for any more. I said, oh, that's perfectly fine. And I snatched them. And I asked them, I was like, do y'all want some? They're like, no, we're good. Okay, cool. And then I had 15 more drinks. Then I had probably about 6 more shots. Then then there was a guy who had bought me, the very last drink I remember getting was a guy had bought me a drink. And they told me that I threw up in the bathroom. And that's how I got.
Hold on, real quick though, because you threw up. The question is, did you rally though?
I threw up, and then I went back out on the dance floor. And they were like,
That's my girl.
you need to take her home before she gets another drink. She's got to go. So the next day I came back and they're like, are you going to behave tonight? What did I do? He was like, ma'am, you were on top of the speakers where the cage is. So, I'm sorry.
Okay, I called it a good night. A good night.
I said, I have never been kicked out of a club before. That was funny. I said, I wish I remembered. And they were like, yeah, you were wild in here. They were like,
that's crazy.
They're like, and you also made like $300 in tips. I said, yes. My sister said that.
Like
and
I said,
gave me
good night.
$300. So I was like, well,
G, if we ever go to Vegas, we know Kaori knows how to party.
We got the plug.
The only thing that I have not been able to do, and that's actually kind of, it just like depends on who it is like if there's a performance by somebody, the guest list technically doesn't exist, but my friend who is a promoter, he'll be like, hey, are you wanting to go to like if Chris Brown, like because Chris Brown performs on New Year's Eve every year. He's like, do you want to go to Chris Brown's concert? I'm like, I'm not paying $90 to get in the door. He was like, hey. All right, sure.
Who said something about money?
Sure.
Right.
Sure. He was like, are you bringing anybody? Probably maybe like 3 or 4 people. He's like, all right, cool. Just let me know and I'll get y'all in.
That's peace. That's peace.
Dope.
I like that.
Oh, but yeah, we got sidetracked. Your socials.
My socials. On TikTok, it is at Kaori Akari. That's where I talk about all of my comic book and anime opinions. On YouTube is the Comics Doctor, and that is where you get everything, your prognosis and diagnosis and everything comics and comic book characters from me.
Okay.
Right now I'm in the middle of Blood Hunt from Marvel, so I have done a review for Blood Hunt 1 as well as like 2 of the tie-ins, and then Blood Hunt 2 comes out on the 22nd, so I will have done a review for that too.
Blade is in that, right?
Yes.
Okay, there we go.
Yes.
Matter of fact, man, isn't it? It's a damn shame that the MCU can't get a script for Blade.
They are very indecisive on which direction they want to go.
And they got the best actor, Mahershala Ali. Yeah, they got the best, a good actor for it. They just can't get the shit together. Look, how hard can it be? He's a black man. He's a damn peer. You know what I'm saying? He can fuck up vampires at night, in the day, reconnaissance, big bad, boom. That's it.
But I was gonna say, I think what Captain Diesel was saying, I think they got a script finalized, and what was really taking so long was the switching between directors and the director wanting to take stuff from the script, add stuff to the script, and change things around and whatnot. But they also have to figure out, because they want to also include Black Knight, because Blade talks to Black Knight at the end of Eternals. They want to include Moon Knight, giving Moon Knight more. They want to do like the Midnight Sun. So they're trying to figure out where in all of these stories that they're trying to put together does Blade fit, because Blade is part of the Midnight Suns. So they're like, well, if we can do where we're introducing him into the universe and then pushing him towards being part of the Midnight Suns, then we can get our horror out of the, like, get that started. And I'm like, hey. And Ali did not agree with the vision of the first director, so they switched directors. So it was like a lot of stuff going on, because the first director was being like overly complicated and trying to do like way too many things, and he was like, no, we're not doing that.
I heard they was trying to center the story around like Blade's daughter or something.
Yes,
like,
there was a rumor that came out about that too, and it's like, why would you bring in Brielle when you haven't even brought Blade in? Make it make sense.
Right.
One thing at a time.
Exactly. Like stop always trying to, like build these different branches. Like first get your character centered. You know what I'm saying?
That's what Kevin Feige and Ali were like, no. And And it's like she doesn't have enough, and that's why I'm actually kind of glad that she's part of the Blood Hunt story, because as far like for right now, she has her own story where she premiered. She teamed up, her and Blade teamed up with Miles Morales for like 2 or 3 issues, I think, doing vampire stuff, and then now she's in Blood Hunt, and then now she was also around Moon Knight as well, as part of like a one-off team type thing. So it's like she doesn't have enough for you to even be putting her in there right now.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah. Like,
so focus on Blade, like Kevin asked you to.
Exactly.
and get it together. Just like the Fantastic Four is not an origin story, just like Captain Diesel. I don't need an origin story. I know where he came from. Just give me something, please.
Right.
Exactly. But I want to thank everybody for this episode, watching this episode of the Geek Salad Live. I want to thank our guest, Kiori. Always nice having you on. Don't let it be like 5 years before you come on again. It's been like 15 years.
Not my fault.
I know it probably
not my
wasn't. I'll take that one. But make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. Also, we have a new Geek Salad Reacts show that we've launched. If there's anything you want us to see us react to, put it in the comments. Also, put in the comments what your thoughts were of the first season of X-Men 97. Until next time, I'm Arye the King.
And I'm G the Beard.
G the Beard. Like what is that all about, bro? Like what is
I'm telling you, man, every episode is going to be a twist of the beard. So it may be Black Beard one day, it may be Big Beard the next day. You know what I'm saying?
Bye.